Shalom and welcome back to Hebrew Bytes, lesson number 17, Ivrit La'at La'at, Shiur 17. We'll start with the blessing. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, by whose word, with all its letters, heaven and earth were made. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shebarah et hashamayim ve'et haaretz bidvaro, im kol ha'otiot. Amen. Amen. Welcome back. Shalom, Talmidei Ivrit, students of Hebrew. Before we start the parasha, I just want to remind you that there are homework exercises that you can find on the Hebrew Bytes post, and it's really important if you want to progress and get stronger, build those Hebrew muscles to do the exercises. So homework in Hebrew is shiurei bait. Each time I've introduced a Hebrew Bytes lesson, I've said Ivrit la'at la'at shiur number so and so. This week shiur 17. And so shiur is a lesson, and shiurim are lessons or exercises as well. So, and bait you all know is home. So shiurei bait, shiurim shel habait, exercises to do at home. Shiurei bait is homework. So go and find them if you haven't started already, and start doing your exercises to get stronger in Hebrew. Right, the parasha this week is Parashat Yitro, Jethro. Jethro, you can see, is Yitro. Yud Tav with the Shva, Yit, shows it stops there, Yitro. Resh and Vav, Yitro. Jethro. Should have the theme song for NCIS for those who watch TV. It's a good show, actually, and of course the main hero of the program is Jethro Gibbs. Is Gibbs, but here it's Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses. Now, you know, in Hebrew there's no letter J in Hebrew. There's no J. So you don't say Jethro, it's Yitro. And of course, other examples that you know well are Jerusalem is Yerushalayim, and Jericho would be Yericho, and Yeshua, Jesus is Yeshua. So you have the Yuds instead. But in modern Hebrew, of course, we were talking about those, so many English words are adopted into, and other language words are adopted into Hebrew. So the G with, or Gimel with an accent is used instead. This occurs mostly with adopted words. So, for example, I live here on King George Street, very English name. And Melech George. George would be the Gimel with the accent, and the Gimel and the accent at the end, George. So you have two Gimels there with accents. Another adopted one is jungle, jungle. So here in Israel we talk about the jungle, it's the jungle. and you have the j, the gimel with an accent showing it's a jungle, the j. And refrigerator, or fridge, is a frigidaire. So that's an easy one. So you see, you know a lot more Hebrew than you think. You know, there's a frigidaire in the jungle, a fridge in the jungle. Frigidaire. So you'll see on the sheet, it's the pay. Now, in regular Hebrew, if the pay is in the front, it's always a pa. But because this is an adopted word, it's actually the fe, frigidaire. Frigidaire. Right, back to Jethro. We are told in the first verse that Jethro rejoiced in all the good, the tov, that God had done for Israel. He was rejoicing with Moses because he had heard of all these great miracles that had happened, and that now the slaves were free. And he was rejoicing. And it shows the character of Jethro here. He was a very powerful leader in Midian. And to rejoice in the good of others and to weep in their sadness, to be able to empathize and have compassion with people, indicates a generous heart and a good eye. Now in Hebrew, this is an important concept which is often used. When you say they have a good eye, that means that Jethro is a good example. He had a generous heart and a good eye to watch out for others. And in Hebrew, it's ayin. You know that ayin is an eye. Ayin hatov. And the opposite, which would be for a stingy, not generous, and not compassionate or able to empathize with others, put yourself in their place, for example, that saying they have ayin hara. Ra is bad. So the opposite of good eye is the bad eye. Ayin hara, but Jethro has ayin hatov. Right, let's look at a table of more adopted words, because this should encourage you in how much Hebrew you know. I also note that in Hebrew, the stress is usually on the last syllable of the word. So you say Yitro, Moshe for Moses. You say Moshe, Moshe, Yitro, Melech. It's usually on that last syllable, but in adopted words, it's usually on the first syllable. So jungle, you wouldn't say jungle for jungle, you say jungle. And here let's look at these. And some others, we'll come to those. Okay. A bus is an autobus. Autobus. Telephone. Now, of course, there were no telephones in biblical times, or even maybe at the time Eliezer ben Yehuda was writing. There certainly wasn't television when he was writing, but a telephone is telephone. And to phone somebody, talfin. So you can see they've just taken telephone, the root letters, and made talfin. Telephone. Radio, radio. Again, the stress on the first syllable. Radio. Television, televisia. Televisia. Actually, there, if it's a longer word, it does shift. So televisia. So viz, televisia. Now, this is the one that really caught me when I was first starting to learn Hebrew back in South Africa. It took me, I don't know how long, trying to figure this one out. but I didn't have any English to help or transliteration, so I was going New, York, what kind of word is this? And then I realized it was adopted English for New York, New York, New York. And many other cities also. Paris would be Paris. Where else? Dallas. So you get the anglicized version. Shock. Shock. If something really bad happens, or you say, "Ani b'shok," or "Kibalti shock," I got a shock. So shock is the same word. And of course, this one, high tech. High tech is big in Israel, and they use the word high tech. So high, the tet and a kuf at the end, high tech. You get many words like relevant, relevanti, relevanti. I'm trying to think of more. Apateti. There are quite a few that are just adopted from English. And tissue. Tissue. If you need a Kleenex or whatever, or paper is tissue. Tissue. So those are cute, and it's really helpful actually sometimes in Israel because there are many adopted words. Right, we'll carry on with the parasha. So Yitro arrives to visit Moshe in the wilderness, and he brings along Moshe's wife, Tzipporah. Now look at her name, and if you remember from last lesson, what was the name of a bird was Tzipor, or Tzipporah. So her name means bird. Tzipporah and his two sons. It's a happy family reunion, but in addition to just a very happy family meeting and reunion, Jethro proclaims, "Now I know that Elohim is greater than all the gods." He had seen many false gods in Midian and Egypt. He knew he was a very spiritual, religious person. I've heard somewhere that he was one of the chief priests in Midian. So now, though, he's come to understand and to know that Elohei Israel, that the God of Israel, was greater than any possible earthly god. And he proceeds to unite his spiritual destiny with the Israelites. Oh, here it says Yitro was a highly respected spiritual leader in Midian, and he returns, no doubt, because it says he didn't stay with Moses, went back to Midian to share the good news, the Chadashot Tovot of the God of Israel with those who would hear him. Right, we're going to look at another table, very important prepositions. And these prepositions are also often used as prefixes. Well, the ones that we know already that we've been looking at are, like if you say for, le, this is the food for breakfast. Ze aruchat boker, ze ha'ochel le'aruchat boker. And to, I'm going to town. Ani holechet le'ir. So when you have the prefix before the noun, ani holechet le'ir. Or in, ba, you remember I am in the house, ani be'bayit. Or in the beginning, be'reshit. And from, mi somewhere. אני מירושלים. He מטקסס. הוא מצרפת. So the me is the preposition that's usually attached to the words, but now you get some that are not attached to the words, they're just prepositions on their own, and these we'll look at now. On is al. Al. I am sitting on a chair. אני יושבת על הכיסא. So sitting on the chair, על הכיסא. Under, מתחת. מתחת. So if you want to say, put the carpet under the table, you could say, שים השטיח מתחת השולחן. שולחן is table, שטיח is a carpet, מתחת, under, underneath. So these are good words to know. Until is ad. Wait until next week. I need, or just say, I need to wait until next week. אני צריכה לחכות עד שבוע הבא. אני צריכה אני צריכה לשים את האוכל על השולחן. It's a long sentence, but I put the food on the table would be אני שמה את האוכל על השולחן. You don't put the food under the table, מתחת השולחן. אני שמה את האוכל על השולחן. Right, so I'd wait until next week. חכה עד שבוע הבא. Opposite is mul. I am sitting opposite you. אני יושבת מולך if it's a girl, or מולך if it's a boy. מול is opposite. With im. Put the bread with the butter, or eat the bread with the butter. אוכל את הלחם עם החמאה. With is im, with the ein. Before, לפני. You can go before me. You can say, oh, please go before me. בבקשה, הולכת לפני. לפני would be before me, but that's making it a bit more difficult. So, she went before him. היא הולכת לפני הוא הולך. It's just to get the sound of these words, because you might come across them. They are important small words. After is אחרי. So you don't go before, לפני, you go אחרי, אחרי, after. So after this exercise, we will do the vocabulary. אחרי השיעור הזה, אנחנו נעשה את המילים חדשות. אחרי. Next to al yad. So if the mother says to her little boy, come and stand next to me, bo la'amud al yadi, al yad, next to me. The chair is next to the table, hakiseh al yad hashulchan. That's an easy one. Hakiseh, the chair, al yad is next to hashulchan, the table. All right, so we'll look at a couple, we'll keep the table up and let's look at these 4 sentences and you'll see the use of these words. If we say Jethro was with Moses in the wilderness, we'd say Yitro haya im Moshe b'midbar. And this would be a nice practice for you to try and write these sentences in Hebrew as well for some homework practice. Yitro haya im Moshe b'midbar. Right, let's just do number 2. They are standing next to the table. Em, masculine plural, em umdim. From the verb la'amod, to stand, hu omed, he omedet, him umdim, hin umdot. So because it's, we're just presuming it's Jethro and Moses, him, masculine plural, umdim al yad hashulchan. Him umdim al yad hashulchan. Number 3, the dog is under the table and the book is on the table. Dog is kelev. Ha-kelev mitachat hashulchan ve'hasefer al hashulchan. I'm glad it's not the other way around. The kelev needs to be mitachat hashulchan ve'hasefer al hashulchan. And the last one, number 4. Every day after breakfast, they walk to school. Kol yom acharei aruchat boker hem holchim leveit hasefer. Now there are a few things to notice in that sentence. Acharei, after, aruchat boker. Now, arucha is a meal, and you should know boker is morning. So, for example, when you greet somebody in the morning, you say boker tov. So, the morning meal is, if you would translate the Hebrew directly, it would be the meal of the morning. Aruchat haboker, the meal of the morning. So after the meal of the morning, after breakfast, acharei aruchat boker, hem holchim, and holchim, we've done the verb before, leholech, to walk, holech, holechet, holchim, holchot. You should be getting the patterns by now for the verbs, holech, holechet, הם הולכים לבית הספר. And there you see the word for school, בית הספר. It would directly translate school of the book. Beit is from Bytes, house of the book would be a school. So, but because you have the le to school, you have the le Beit HaSefer, so it becomes The bet, remember, if it's in the middle of a word, becomes a vet. So it's not lebetas, levet hasefer, to school. Good. So we'll have time to finish the vocabulary. Milim chadashot. And here we have a very important word that we saw illustrated on your sheets, which, by the way, that picture at the top of the lesson is a big carving, a stone carving at the Bible Lands Museum, or no, the Israel Museum. And the four letters that are balanced there, the Aleph, Hey, Bet, Hey, would be Vet, Hey, make Ahava, which is love. And we saw the love expressed between Jethro and Moses and Zipporah and the family, and especially Ahavat Elohim, the love of God. Ahava. News, chadashot, the same as in milim chadashot, new words, but news, if you're just hearing the news on the radio or TV or newspaper, is chadashot. Chadashot. Table, we've used a lot this today, shulchan, shulchan. Chair, kiseh, kiseh. To stand, la'omed, and there we have the different forms, omed, omedet, omdim, omdot. Breakfast, aruchat boker. Coffee and tea, which are sound like adopted words as well. Cafe, tea. Coffee and tea, cafe, tea. Very easy. You see how much Hebrew you know already. The next one is difficult. I always find this word difficult to say, afternoon. Tzaharaim. Lunch is aruchat tzaharaim. Again, the meal, and afternoon is tzaharaim. So you have aruchat tzaharaim. And dinner is a lovely, easy one. Evening is erev. So if you want to say good evening to somebody, you say erev tov. So dinner or supper is aruchat erev. And again, menu is tafrit. So remember to look at the menu on Hebrew Helps, and to do your shiurei Bytes, your exercises on Hebrew Bytes post, and b'hatzlacha, every success as you build your Hebrew muscles. So shalom, shalom, and lehitraot from Jerusalem, mi Yerushalayim.